welcome back to the 105th PGA Championship, where Cameron Young is joining us. Cameron, you're playing in your second PGA Championship this week after finishing tied for third in your debut last year at Southern Hills. What do you remember about that week and how you played?
I remember playing really well. That golf course was very difficult. I think it set up really well for how I was playing at the time. I was driving it great, and that's a place where driving it really well can turn, an extremely difficult golf course into a more normal one. I'm not going to say easy ever. I mean, it's a very difficult golf course, but I was driving it so well that there were some really hard holes that I just kind of had, 8 and 9 iron into instead of, having some more difficult shots. So I remember playing really well. It was obviously fun to kind of have a chance late on Sunday, and made a couple mistakes, a couple shots I'd like to try again down the stretch, but there's a ton that I hit throughout the week that I don't want to have to try again. So that all evens out, and obviously it was a really good week for me, and I'm happy to be back, again this year.
And how do you feel about your game coming into this week at Oak Hill?
I think it's been going the right direction. Obviously I had kind of 2 good results in a row at match play and the Masters, and then some very mediocre golf from there. But I feel like I've played okay. I'm struggling to score a little bit, and I think I'm just really excited for this week to get on a New York golf course that's obviously in major championship condition. It feels like home. Obviously, I didn't live that close to here, but it's the same style of golf, and I'm just excited for the week.
That's great. Thank you. We'll open it up for questions, starting with Jeff.
I was going to ask, does this kind of bring you back to your childhood a little, this kind of style?
Yeah, for sure. I think even walking down the first hole today, there's something familiar about just the grasses and kind of the weather that I feel like is unique to this part of the country. It was beautiful out there today, and even just something as simple as that just feels very familiar to me. It's a lot like playing spring golf at home, when I was in high school, and really still spent some time here.
We had Tony Fino in here earlier. I mean, driving it long and straight works anywhere, but he was talking about how imperative it is here. With driving such a strength, do you really look forward to that this week?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's something that I kind of noticed about a golf course first is if I, one, do I get to hit driver a bunch? And 2, is it rewarding for me versus maybe someone that doesn't hit it quite as far? And I haven't seen the whole golf course, but so far it seems like I'm going to get to hit driver quite a bit, and there's going to be a few holes where I'm able to take advantage quite a bit.
Microphone 5.
Cameron, did you anticipate that you would be as comfortable in these huge environments on these setups here? Obviously, Southern Hills Open Championship, and then Augusta National this year. Did you anticipate that you would feel that comfortable?
I honestly, I didn't. It wasn't something I thought about ahead of time, really. It kind of snuck up on me. I feel like midway through, last season, or toward the end of last season. I think this tournament last year was a big step for me in that regard, because I had finished high in big tournaments, but having a chance to win a major on a Sunday is a little different. And I would say the level of comfort did kind of sneak up on me. At this point it's here, and if anything, I enjoy the major weeks more. It's just a little bit more fun for me for some reason. It's hopefully something that doesn't go away. It's been nice to just really finally settle in and be comfortable.
We'll go to Juan on 9.
So talking about the comfort of playing in a type of golf course that you grew up on and well, was there favorite shots, I don't know, if hitting around the trees or doing things like that you really enjoyed as a kid playing in these old golf courses and you still enjoy now and give you an advantage?
Yeah, I think one of the things is just the fairways. We play so many places that are Bermuda fairways, and to get some really tight, bent ryegrass Poa annua fairways is really fun for me. I think it's really rewarding with your iron play. I think it opens the door to hit a bunch of shots that you can't necessarily other places. So that's something that I really enjoy. I think, the chipping the wedges and the iron play off of those really tight fairways is something I really look forward to anytime we get to come up this way.
Any other questions for Cameron?
You, as a kid, did you ever come down and play here?
I
Rock,
played here.
I guess.
I played, yeah. I played once in the New York State Am. I think I was probably 14. So I honestly don't remember the golf course that well. I think there's more than one here, and we played some different holes. So I don't remember it that well, and obviously nothing golf-wise really has translated between then and now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember being here. Obviously it was really hard then, and it's really hard now. So.
Is it one of those places you feel the tradition of it, though?
Yeah, I mean, walking through that clubhouse is very cool. It's somewhere I feel like they haven't tried to modernize it too much.
Yeah.
I mean, golf-wise too. I've heard they've moved some tees back and stuff, but that's kind of just the way the game has gone.
Yeah.
It's a really cool place, and I'm excited to get going in a couple days.
I was going to ask you one last one on last year's finish. I mean, immediately after the finish, there's the pain of being so close, I guess. But at what point do you kind of allow yourself to pull all the positives out?
I think it was harder the first couple times. Obviously, I finished second at Sanderson Farms, lost by 1, and then second at the Genesis, lost by a couple. And this one last year, I lost by 1 to finish third, and it was a bummer, to come up short again. But I think the more times that's happened, the more I've just tried to kind of use it as proof to myself that I can win a golf tournament out here and win a big one. So I'm just trying to keep giving myself those opportunities. And one of these times, I've said it a bunch of times, one of these times I'll shoot, 5 under on the back and it'll be good enough. And I did at the British Open, and I still lost. But one of these times that will work out. And obviously it'd be nice for it to be this week or any week on the PGA Tour is a good one for me.
One?
So growing up with around PGA members, if you want, no?
Yeah.
And knowing that culture pretty well, no? What do you think about the 20 that made it here this week? I mean, what do you think is going through their minds, and what was going to be the struggle for them, no? So,
yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous accomplishment. The number of good players in that field to qualify for this event is pretty amazing. I mean, those guys work really hard, and for as many of them to be as good a golfers as they are is really incredible. Obviously, my dad was a PGA professional for a long time. Still is, but has retired from Sleepy Hollow in New York. And he was a great player for a long time. He never quite qualified for one of these. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for guys that are able to compete that well, knowing how intense their jobs are. It's a hard business to be in, and to maintain that level of golf is very impressive. So, I mean, obviously, I hope for them to have a good week. It's a great experience to get to play in a major championship, no matter the circumstances. And it's an amazing week for them, and cool to have them around, too.